Very grateful to be on here with you all. I am the Chief Sales Officer at LifeVantage. I've been in this industry going on 18 years. I've been with two other companies. LifeVantage is the third company that I've been with, and I've been here about 3.5 years. And what I absolutely love about this company, amazing products, amazing compensation plan, but the culture here is truly phenomenal. And what is so special to me that I appreciate so much is when you look at the industry as a whole, it's primarily female dominated. There's a lot, a lot of women in this space, a lot of very successful women, but sometimes on the corporate side, the corporate staff doesn't necessarily represent the field. And Steve has been so intentional about putting women in leadership roles who really match the demographic that is being successful with this. So it's a company that does so many amazing things. And at the top, the culture, as you will soon find out, is truly remarkable. But because of that, we have been able to attract some amazing individuals to this company. One of who I know you are anxious to hear from very, very soon, and that is the one and only Erin Brockovich. Erin has been on our board since May of 2019. She has over 35 years of experience in legal and business success, both domestically and globally. I don't know if you know this, but Erin has actually helped for water rights and assistance in every single state in the United States and globally. I mean, she is a tremendous powerhouse. What I love about Erin, though, is her commitment to helping others. And when you listen to her, you will hear that authenticity in her voice. And it's like, help others at all cost. It doesn't matter, who they are, where they come from. She is a fighter and is going to fight for everybody. She truly is someone who blazes her own trail. I have learned so much from her in the short time that I've had the ability to work with her in the past few years. But I know you are excited to hear from her. So Erin, thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to be here. Why don't you say hello to this amazing group of women?
Okay. Hi. Can you hear me now?
We got you. Yes. How you doing?
I'm good. Can we talk about frizz hair?
Obviously I can, so please.
Oh, I can. It's everywhere. So what I was saying is good morning to everyone. I'm Erin Brockovich, and my usual joke is, sorry, not Julia Roberts. So there's created so much confusion in my life. You have no idea. But I am really pleased to meet you all today virtually. I'd love to see you all in person. And I'm just glad to be here and have this opportunity and chat with all of you and answer any questions. And I know everyone's gone through a difficult time, but help get you fired back up. So with that, then I think you and I are going to chat for a minute, aren't we?
We are. We are. Erin, I love that you're in this amazing company, but I just want to ask you kind of right out of the gate, what attracted you to LifeVantage? What was it that made you say, hey, this is a company that you want to partner with?
Pro tandem, I definitely care about health. Listen, I work in communities all day long that I've seen struggle and struggle from being poisoned by the water. And so I'm very conscientious about my health. And many times people on the ground, and I kind of really like this conversation that we're having. For me and LifeVantage and its team are, what I call ground troops. I believe the people. I believe those that are there, that are either being exposed, that are taking something that's changing their life. And I'm attracted to that. I was attracted to that with LifeVantage and its team. And I was attracted to initially on the pro tandem front and the health impacts that it could make on people. And in my world, in these communities that have just been decimated, they often want to find something that isn't a drug, another medicine that's going to make things more complicated or cause them to have, kidney effects or sick. They were always looking for something natural that actually worked, and hence the pro tandem. So that is what drew me to LifeVantage: the health, the wellness, the team, the ground troops.
Love that. Love that concept of ground troops. And, I think of someone, when you say ground troops, just willing to fight for anything. And I know certainly in your career and your journey, you have done your fair share amount of advocating for people which obviously comes with some disappointments and adversity along the way. And, I would love to hear from you. How have you, channeled something that you're so passionate about that when you hit maybe a roadblock or some adversity, what do you do as a leader to try to get through that?
Well, that's a great question. And yes, I hit roadblocks, and you always will. It's called life. And
Yeah.
it's disappointing, but I think it's how you handle it. Christian, you and I have talked before about a key word that is part of my vocabulary, my thinking every single day, and it's called stick-to-itiveness. It's a real word. It's definition, a propensity to follow through in a determined manner, dogged persistence born of obligation and stubbornness. And at our core, that's really who we are. For me, the word kind of triggers me like the little engine that could, but especially this word is effective with moms. And this is one thing, and this is not to disregard fathers, anything like that at all, but moms have this amazing instinct. And more often than not, they are the front line, especially in taking care of their children, their families, a child that's sick, that rises up with the determination, that dogged persistence. And I think for many of us, our middle name is stubborn. So when they hit a roadblock, they're often more inclined with that mindset to keep pushing through. And they learn that maybe they need to step back for a minute, step out. If you feel like you're in that box, just step out, breathe, reboot, but be that little engine that could and bring that stick-to-itiveness, that determination back into the game. And oftentimes when you do, it feeds itself and you will just keep going and going and going.
Love that. We have a call here full of entrepreneurs, people who are doing amazing things. And, sometimes in this industry, you get hit with people who are like, you're doing that, or maybe some judgment, or maybe there's this hesitancy to not be proud of it, but to sink into it. I know you've had to deal with that in your life of doing things that maybe weren't the norm. What would be your advice to somebody who is maybe getting some resistance or getting pushback, and how they stand confidently and boldly in something that they really believe in, even when others might be going, seriously, you're doing that thing? What would be your advice to these business owners?
Well, I have to mind my manners today, right? I mean, here,
No. I think this is the crowd that you can, like, no filter.
this is generally a moment when someone does that to me is like a WTF moment. Is whoa, stop right there. I don't know why people do that. You brought up Friends and the hair, Monica on the island and the Friends. So this is something from Friends that Joey would say. People would ask him, how are you doing? He's like, how are you doing? Or, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's where you kind of have to flip it back. Because again, going back to my upbringing in the Midwest and my mom, she would always tell me it was there because I am a dyslexic. So I always had a lot of problems with feeling down and rejected and things like that. Or people thinking, why are you a dyslexic? Or why are you selling that? And my mom would always tell me, see, that's somebody else's choice to see what it is you are or aren't doing in their opinion. But listen to me, it doesn't have to be your choice. It doesn't have to be their choice. It's your choice, how you perceive yourself. If you are involved in something that makes you feel good, that helps you, that helps your family, that can help you economically, that you're out there putting your heart and soul to, and somebody else comes along and goes, why are you doing that? Why are you asking me that? You are the one that needs to internalize and see who you are, realize who you are, be motivated by what you're doing and your work, and forget what anyone else thinks you should or shouldn't be doing. That decision is up to you. And if you are doing something that is helpful, that is good for others, that ground truth, that swell of making a change and making a difference, you stand strong within yourself. And if somebody else doesn't like it, too fucking bad. And I mean that in this regard. There are things, we will step back take a respect and listen to that and stuff. But if someone's coming really after you about why are you selling MLM, or I don't believe in this, or I don't believe in that. Okay, you know what? Fine, that's your choice. But I'm making mine. And I'm standing strong in my position and my decision and what it is that I'm doing to help change my life and change somebody else's life, period.
Oh, I absolutely love your confidence. Like if we could just all soak up even half of that, it's just truly amazing. One of the things that you and I have talked about before that I always thought was just so inspiring was you had a teacher early on who really sought you out and helped you learn in this amazing way. You mentioned being dyslexic. She saw something in you that was truly special. And, unfortunately, sometimes in this world, we can be competitive with one another. But how important is it to surround yourself with people who bring the best out in you, who see kind of that worth so that you can do the same to others? And how has that really shaped what you've been able to accomplish?
I always love talking to you.
Same.
So
I'm talking to you, not myself, to be clear.
yes. Again, it's a great question. It makes all the difference in the world. And it's hard for us sometimes to see if we're talking to somebody that whatever's going on might be bringing you down, and how important it is that somebody else that you could be talking to can help bring you up. Listen, all of us have problems on this planet. Every single one of us. We all have insecurities and vulnerabilities. And sometimes people can see that in you and want to tap on that because it kind of sucks you under. So it's really important to recognize that, get away from that, and be around those that want to uplift you and want to embrace you. And so Kathy Borseth that you're talking about was my high school teacher, and she's a psychology major. She's now with the FBI. But she recognized that there was something going on, and she didn't barrage me with why this and why that and tell me I'm doing it wrong. She just could see. She could see. Sometimes we have to realize it's not just always linear. It's what are you seeing? What are you feeling? What is happening internally in that gut, that second brain of yours that everyone wants to discount, that is truly scientifically your second brain? She saw that. She worked with that. She came out of the box of what we call a standard of conformity and was willing to do something different. And she knew I knew, and I was always bombing my written test. So we had a conversation about I have dyslexia. I didn't know what it was, but it didn't affect her. It didn't affect her. She just said, oh, that's interesting. She said, so let me ask you a question. If I give you this test orally, can you pass it? I said, sure. And of course I did. So she gave me every test the rest of the semester. And what that did for my GPA was one thing, but what it did for my self-esteem, see, I knew, but it almost became a validation point to help me keep going, was immense. So it makes all the difference in the world. If somebody is questioning you, to be able to, you believe in yourself, but someone else, I'm always about this. And LifeVantage is a perfect example of this. In my work, I've learned my logic, my leverage, my loyalty, my love. My logic's that guttural instincts. I see it. I own it. I'm experiencing it. I believe it. It's here. And I stand strong with it. And my leverage, and that's what we were just talking about here. Leverage isn't something bad. It's bringing in the collective. It's that person. Here's my hand, take it. Let me help lift you up. Because when you lift someone else up, you're lifting yourself up. It's like that ship that comes in, when the big tide comes in, it lifts up all ships. We have the ability as individuals to offer that to someone else. And I think it's critical that we do that. And that's what I see at LifeVantage that I love so much. And so you have logic, your leverage, loyalties, that stick-to-itiveness, and ultimately the love factor is your why. So if anybody questions you, look to yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Because you love your work, you love your family, you love your health, you love being involved, you love the idea of a collective and helping another person succeed as well. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah, I'll say here, everyone always asks, I'm sure your favorite film was Aaron Brockovich. And it wasn't. My favorite film was Pay It Forward.
Oh,
What we were here to do. And I see that in LifeVantage and its ground troops. And it makes my heart swell. And that's what happens when we give and help lift up others.
I love that so much. And, you know, I've worked with you enough to know that you are going to help others at all costs. So you don't care who they are, where they come from. If it's the cool thing to do, if it's the right thing to do, you are all over it. And I truly admire that about you. You know, another story that you shared with me was one about accepting the baton at the Olympics and being part of the, or the torch, I mean, being part of the Olympic ceremony. And, you know, I look at you, Erin, and I think, man, this woman, she has no fear. She can't be afraid of absolutely anything. But you were super vulnerable with me and honest about, like, sometimes that fear is real and sometimes it's in our own head, but we have this responsibility to figure out how to push through it. So would you mind sharing that experience with this group? I just think it would be so impactful.
I love it. And so because I'm here at home, give me 2 seconds. I'm bringing you something. Hold on.
Ooh.
What's it
I'm
gonna
guessing
be?
it's not like a hair straightener, but. Are you guys loving this? Isn't she truly amazing?
So here
Oh,
it
there it is. There's short. Oh my goodness.
So the Olympics.
Wow.
And you brought it up and it's hanging on my wall. But see, I want to share it because if you have any doubt, I want to pass it on to you. And that our conversation has been around this. And so the day I got to pass the Olympic torch, I was scared. Even holding it now, I feel kind of scared. My heart is a little bit racy because we take these opportunities as something very special to be able to be a part of. And so the day I passed the Olympic torch, and you can still see, you're never supposed to clean it because that's the soot from the flame that burned.
Oh, wow.
See that. First of all, I'm passing the Olympic torch. It's a race, right? And I still ask myself, who on race day gets hair and makeup ready? So I was like, hair, makeup ready in my Olympic suit. And of all days, it's raining. So now my brain is going, oh my gosh, I'm going to look like a fool with mascara running down my face as I'm going to pass off this Olympic torch, this amazing moment. And so I had to get it out of my mind a little bit. But when I'm there, people were there. Tons of people were there. It was exciting. You know, the cameras were there. And I'm like, oh God, get out of your head. Get out of your head. You just got to do it. But I had a moment where, wait a minute. What if I miss catching it? What if I drop it? What if I trip? What if I fall? All of these things were swirling around in my head, which is normal for any one of us. And we begin to question ourselves. And so here comes my turn, and I'm told, and I've got my other runners, people, you need to get ready. Let's start going. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, okay, let's just start a slight little jog. And then we picked it up. The excitement was building and building and building. And as I'm looking, they're like, okay, Erin, you need to start turning around because it's coming around the corner. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm going to fail. I'm going to drop it. I got that negativity in my head. And as it's coming and I've got my hand, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And he goes, Erin, turn around and grab it. And when I swung my arm and I got a hold of this thing, I went, yes, I know where I am going. And that is the message I want for everyone to know. Yes, you're going to have doubts. Yes, you're going to be uncertain, but get into who you are and don't miss that moment. And even if you're afraid, grab it, because once you take that chance, that risk, you step in, you're involved, and you believe you can do it. By God, you will. So embrace the fear. Don't let it get to you too much. But just remember, that's a part of what is getting you to ultimately where you want to go. That is facing your fears, addressing your vulnerabilities, and still trusting and stepping into it. Because I'm telling you, when you do and you grab it, you're going to go, I'm so glad that I did. And I don't want people to miss that moment in their life. So don't ever be afraid to pick up that torch, to grab it and to run. You got this.
Totally amazing. That was such a great analogy. You know, I was
I
going to
never
say
get to share this. So
I know. I was going to say mic drop, and then I thought maybe I should say torch drop, and then I thought that's like not what you want to do with a torch. So I love how you shared that, Erin. So incredible.
Whole
You know,
message. When you grab it, and part of that is you run with it and you know it, and then you pass that on to share with somebody else. See, it is, and all of us, a great, amazing race. And we have to have this process as a whole to get to the end.
love that.
There it
Well,
is.
Erin, my last question to you is a little bit open-ended, but I just want to ask you, what would be your just final piece of advice for this group of women who are maybe in a place where they need to make a change? They're testing out some waters. They've got businesses, they've got busy lives, they've got a lot going on. What would be the one piece of advice that you would give them?
Realize who you are, and kind of everything that we've been talking about. Look at what you're looking for. This is a great team here, by the way, for that. And I'll end with where I began and why I'm here is their ground troops and the support that they will give to you, that wants to uplift you to come and be the best that you can be. And I always talk about, oftentimes we think someone or something else stands in our way. Things happen for a reason. A door closes because another opportunity, another window, another moment is meant to be in your life, and to seize that moment and to realize moving forward, no one else is going to hold you back. We hold ourselves back. And so to be able to realize the strengths you have, recognize the weaknesses that you have, but embrace all of that. And coming into something new, it's always about assessing a situation, taking accountability where you think you might fall short. But this is a building block moment of vetting something, assessing something. Is this the right space for me? And ultimately, it boils down to, our motivation. This is that why factor. And I think that following this dream or coming into a new moment or a new beginning, see, there is really never a door closes, because the door always opens. Moment for you to self-reflect. And that's where, as you come to something new, to come out of a box, or maybe what you know or what you think, to breathe, to reboot, and to center who you are. And that will help you make the choices that you need to, of where it is you need to go. So I call it being a ram. So for everybody out there today, take that breath, center yourself, become that ram, and find your courage, find your fortitude, find your footing. And when you do, you will just magically, you're going to find your way. So today, become that ram.
Wow. Erin, thank you so much. Every time I speak to you, I just learn something else. That was absolutely amazing. Such an honor to be able to speak with you, to learn from you. Can you guys give Erin some love in the chat? Like, if you learned something from her, maybe type in your takeaway, what really stood out. But just really grateful for the partnership that we have with you, Erin, for all you do for this amazing company. We appreciate you, and thank you for taking time to share on this Zoom call with us.
I enjoy it, Kristen, and I always enjoy speaking with you. And Steve, I feel the same way about you, and I don't always get to say it about the entire company. I'm so proud of this company, of this team, of who you are, and the difference that you make. And maybe somebody doesn't always remind you about that, but I will today. And so it is always a pleasure for me to be here with you. I mean that. Thanks,
Awesome.
Kristen.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Erin. And that is the perfect segue into the CEO of LifeVantage, Steve Fife. And what I love about Steve is one of the things that he truly understands is the importance of culture, and that culture comes from the top. And it starts with him. And he is so intentional about creating an environment of, innovation, making sure that our teams are working on the best products, making sure that we're always working on the best compensation, the best tools, we're always staying relevant. And that leadership and that culture sets the tone for the field. And he does just an absolutely tremendous job at it. So you've got the opportunity to hear for a few minutes from our CEO, Steve Fife. Steve, I'm going to turn it over to you. And you're on mute.
And I didn't say anything before, so you didn't miss anything. But Kristen, thanks for that introduction. And Erin, you're amazing. Like Kristen, every time you speak, we for sure pick up a nugget or two or three or four or five. But I appreciate the opportunity the pose, have given to have me participate in this call. And you've heard a lot about LifeVantage. I've been with the company for about 7 years now. Started as the CFO, and about 3 years ago, the board asked if I would step in and be the CEO. And one of the things that Erin mentioned, and a few of you commented on in the chat, was embrace the fear. And I don't come from this industry at all. So I'm a finance guy by education and background. Worked for a number of different publicly traded companies, and mostly in the technology space. And had just been part of a sale of a company and was looking for my next job. And a recruiter called me up and told me about this opportunity at LifeVantage, and it was an MLM company. And I knew nothing about network marketing or the industry or anything. But I saw an opportunity, and the people that I met in the interview process, I knew that there was something here. And so I took on that challenge of a new industry, and here I am 7 years later, and I've loved my time, and I've loved being the CEO of this company. In part because, Kristen said it, I think we have an amazing culture here that spans between our board of directors that Erin is a part of, the corporate team, and the field. And over the last couple of years, I'd say in particular, that relationship of being hand in glove with one another and having a common vision and a common goal, and an understanding of where we are going as a company, and not where we want to go, but where we are going as a company. And collectively, a couple of years ago, we made a decision that we needed to do something different with our compensation plan. And that's kind of a scary thing in this industry. But as Sean mentioned at the beginning of this, being an and company, we wanted to be able to have a plan that was appealing to everyone. And we have a single plan that, regardless of how you want to build your business and how much money you want to make, addresses those two aspects of, if you want to sell products, if you want to build teams simplistically. And, I guess I'd humbly say I think we have the best plan in the industry. We launched it about a year ago in the US, and we're rolling it out in all of our countries throughout the world now. and it's been extremely well received. And so I think we've got an incredible compensation plan. Tracy and Dawn talked a little bit about our products and our activation, and that's a commitment we have, to we are a science-based company, but I think a big change over the last couple of years has been not leaving it at the science, but taking that science and massaging, creating a message around why that science is so important to you as a consumer. And that messaging around activation is really starting to resonate as well. And I guess maybe a little tease here as well. We're going to be announcing a new product at an event in October. And I personally think, it can be as big as our Protandim product. It will be bigger than our collagen product. It's in an adjacent but similar product category, one that I think many of you will be familiar with. But it's going to be a game changer for this company. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it at a virtual event coming up in a week or two. I guess it's just next weekend, right? Next weekend. And we'll start rolling out. We've got a launch plan to get people familiar with it, and then the official launch will be in October. But it's going to be exciting, and it's again very consistent with our core beliefs around activation. And so we've got comp plan, we've got products, but you've heard a lot about our culture. And I think at the end of the day, that's what binds those two things together, is that the common vision around our vision is to create the remarkable in people's lives. And that's, I think, from a health standpoint, it's from a financial standpoint. And our leaders, Sean and Michelle, I think, epitomize that. And they're not unique in the company. Well, they're unique, but it's also shared with many other leaders, that common belief of helping people. And I think you see that in how we behave and interact with one another, the cross-line support that is provided is really amazing, and something that I think helps define the culture of the company. So I think that we are a $200 million company that is just beginning a growth phase, a second phase in our evolution. And with what we've put in place over the last couple of years, I think we've all collectively embraced some fear, and we've conquered that. And it doesn't mean that there aren't going to be additional challenges, but we've got a team that is ready and able to address those as well, so that we can march forward and realize the dreams and the impact on people's lives that we know we can have. So look forward to meeting all of you, and it's great to spend some time. And I guess with that, I'll turn it back. Is it to Dawn or to Tracy? To Dawn. All right.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve, Aaron, Kristen. Thank you all for being here. We know that multiple people invited to this call, so just be sure to get back to the person that invited you. We're so grateful for everyone's time, and I'll let Tracy close us out.
Sean, did you have, I printed out the itinerary, and I think Sean has some
Thank you.
to say. No? Okay, I'm taking it. Okay.
Got it.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm just so humbled that like at how many people are on. I'm so humbled that Steve and Aaron and Kristen were willing to take time out of your day just to share the heart of this mission and this company. Like, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Okay, we want to be respectful of your time. We've been on an hour. I'll be really quick about this, but reach out to whoever invited you if you have more questions. Sean dropped his and Michelle's numbers in there. You can also reach out to them if with any and all questions, but we're all here to help you. These are the 2 packs. I started with the business pack because I wanted to try everything. I ended up falling in love with everything and still use the majority of these products every single day. So if that's an option, that is absolutely where I would recommend starting. But if it's not, this Healthy Glow Activated Skincare Pack that you see on the right is all of probably my favorite products. Like if I had to choose just a few, the skincare, the Protandim and the collagen together, you guys reach out to us and let us send you the studies on what this stuff does together. It is insane, not just for how you look, but for what's going on inside your body and longevity and just insane, insane studies on that. And those are also all the products that if you're like, okay, what products do I want to be on? I would start there. Those are probably our like hero products. But like I said, I love everything that this company offers. There's nothing yet that I've been like, oh, I don't need that. So wherever you are at is where I would start, and you can always go up from there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy, and Dawn as well, too. And I did want to mention, I know we have some leaders on here that are looking at LifeVantage, and just want you to know there's also a red carpet program available too. So if you're coming over as a leader from somewhere else, please reach out to one of us and we can get you all the details on that. Gives you an opportunity to go to corporate, meet Steve and Kristen in person, and we'd be more than happy to fly out with you so you can get an idea of who Michelle and I are as well. And I truly mean it that we're here to help in whatever capacity, whether it is LifeVantage that's going to be your home or somewhere else. Feel free to reach out to us. And I do want to highlight one last time our culture, because that means everything to us. Michelle and I, we've worked hard over the decades to get something behind our name of truly being about helping people just be better versions of themselves. And we always want to ensure that what we're representing, what we're saying, what we're telling people is all that and then some. So I truly am here for you, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let us know how we can help. So thank you.
Hey, honey, can I say one thing? And then I know we need to get off. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle, Sean's wife. And I just want to say, Aaron, thank you so much for being here and speaking and giving us your power and your strength and your soul. But what you said about pay it forward, you guys, if you have not seen that, or if it has been a year, 2 years, 10 years since you've seen it, take it on for yourself today to go and watch it. Give that as a gift to yourself to go and watch it. And feel that little boy get up and take that piece of chalk from his hand and go up to the board and give his vision. Oh, I got chills. Give his vision of what he sees with those different circles, which are humans, which are lives, which is each one of you, and the power of what each one of you can do to make a difference in this world. It is real, it is powerful, and the ending is insane. And that's what we do here, is every single person matters. And we just love you. We don't know you, but for those of you that know me, my heart is love. And we're here, and we want to support you, whether it's LifeVantage or anywhere else. We just lift you up. We are so sorry for everything that has been going on. You've been in our prayers. And what Aaron has said and the others, you got this. We are here for you. Go out and own it. Life is precious. Every second counts. And sorry to go over, but my heart, when that heart comes, I got to speak. So love you all.
One last time, just get back with the person that invited you onto the Zoom. We can help with any questions that you have, send more info. So please let us know where you're at. have an amazing afternoon and weekend, and we will talk very, very soon. Take care, you guys.
Your time, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Be
everybody.
well.